Hello and welcome back to Foods Entertainment. First, I will apologize for the embarrassment of the format that I watched this movie on. It's kind of embarrassing because I try not to do this, but apparently is very, very difficult in stores. Now, obviously not difficult to buy it on the internet, but like probably the rest of you, I really don't like buying things on the internet when it comes to movies. Now, really cool looking watches like this. Yeah, I'll buy a dive watch, a really good dive watch like this, off the internet, off Amazon. But when it comes to movies, I usually don't like doing that. So, I didn't do that. And I had to settle for the theatrical cut of this film, not the unrated cut. So, with that said, will we eventually be doing a second review on this film? Very likely we will. And I'm talking about, and I have to make sure that it is a 2023 on this. I'm pretty sure that it is. I just don't like DVDs, people. I had time reading when it came out. If I got the DVD itself, I could find it. No, it's a 2022. Alright, this must have been very late 2022. But 2022's The Invitation. Now, I did mention in the last review, this is secretly a Dracula movie. Well, that's because it's not marketed as a Dracula movie. But this is very much a Dracula film. That's exactly what this is. This is actually a Dracula film. It took me a couple of times watching this movie to figure out that it is a Dracula film, to make that connection. But it's a Dracula film. But yes, I do not like doing DVDs. But in the case of this, the DVD is actually not that. It's not that half bad. It's really not. The quality obviously would be better on Blu-ray. There is no 4K of this on physical media, which brings it to another thing I do not like. The one thing I will definitely point out there is people that watch this channel rely sometimes, well, not maybe all the time, but definitely to a point, to rely on me to answer a question. Should I go to a video store and pick up this title in this format? They depend on me to kind of tell you. People depend, some of you depend on me to tell you whether or not you should go out to the store and buy this title in 4K or 2K. So that's why I do physical media. But what really irritates me about this movie is, although it may have Adobe Digital Plus sound presentation on Netflix, the 4K version of this movie is available to watch on Netflix. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sony Pictures? How the fuck did that happen, Sony Pictures? Why is it that you do not release the 4K version of one of your catalog titles, in a very popular catalog title, on physical media in 4K, but you can watch it in fucking 4K on a fucking streaming service that you do not own? It makes no fucking sense to me. Shame on you. Shame on you, Sony. Shame on you. I expect better from you. Especially you. You've been a hero for a long time. I mean, you weren't a hero for 2 freaking reviews I've done tonight. Shame on you when it comes to the Invitation. Shame on you. Alright, the plot. Basically, this is a different Dracula film. A college student who recently lost her mom discovers that she is related to a royal family in the United Kingdom. So she travels to this royal family and introduces family she never knew. She discovers family she never knew and gets introduced to them through a cousin of hers. She falls in love with basically the the owner of the mansion that her family is attending. This lord of some sort. I forget the name of the lord. Maybe you'll tell me on the back of here. And oh yeah, she discovers that she's a part of this family from a DNA test that she sent out. Yeah, that doesn't say his name, but he goes by a different name in this movie. He doesn't go by Count Dracula, but he does use an alias name. Lord something. She falls in love with him, and then eventually she finds out, after mysterious things are happening around her, that the reason why she was invited by cousins that she never had through a DNA test of, family members, that long lost family, distant cousins and stuff like that, and cousins, whatnot. She discovers that she was invited because of her pureness and how her blood would allow for the family to continue in all absolute power by being turned into a vampire and becoming the bride of the Lord. He was the master vampire. And so you see, I see where this is going. This is basically a Bride of Dracula story. This is I guess this answers the question as to how Dracula gets his brides. Well, now we know. Now we know how a Bride of Dracula is made. And then, of course, she becomes a vampire, bounces off with Dracula himself, although I never dare say that his name is Dracula in the film. Interesting enough, there actually is a cliffhanger ending that's available on the disc. Which, well, actually, I don't think it's available on this disc. I think it's part of the unrated cut of the film. So I think I saw that on YouTube. The editor ending, which is part of the unrated version of the film on Blu-ray. But yeah, she takes him out, takes out other vampires, and then obviously reverts back from a vampire to human. She becomes a vampire by drinking Dracula's blood, obviously. And it does leave the door open for a sequel, especially if you watch that, ending that was cut out of the film that's available in the unrated version. And in the unrated version of the film, the actual ending of the film is actually Dracula himself making an appearance on the voyage of the Dementor. So basically it shows them traveling, obviously, to America from London, and making it a homage to basically the first couple of chapters of Bram Stoker's book. After he meets Jonathan Harker and traps him and goes to America from, or actually no, it goes to London. Yeah, it goes to London from Romania. It kind of does that, but now it's going from London to America. But it shows him devouring one of the shipmates, and that's basically how that ending is. So yeah, although it doesn't actually say it to your face, but anybody with a brain that actually pays attention to little things and is familiar with the novel by Bram Stoker and familiar with the character Dracula will definitely tell you that this is a fucking Dracula movie. Now, I will address the PG-13 rating on the film. Okay, again, this is a PG-13 movie, yes, but it's a vampire movie. And on top of that, it's a Dracula movie, so no. No, no, and no. This film's definitely not for children. Now the quality. The quality is what you expect from a DVD. The picture is pretty generic. It's not really authentic. It's just generic. It's just a digital picture. They took the 4K, downgraded it to the standard definition format of 480. Now technically, DVD is not really a standard definition format. It's an HD format, but is barely HD. What it basically is on a regular setup, old school setup, you can have 480p. But on a HD TV, it's best to view it in 720p because that's actually what it's designed for, and that's basically standard high definition. 1080 is full HD. 2160 is Ultra HD. But the first HD is 720p, which is what a DVD is. It's actually 720p, not 480p. People got that wrong. 480p is actually VHS. It's the original PAL format and resolutionary lines. So a DVD is actually 720p. Regular Blu-ray is 1080p, and Ultra HD is 2160p. Now the audio is just a Dolby Digital 5.1 downmix from the obvious Dolby Atmos sound presentation. I've seen this film enough times in credits that I can tell you this was designed to be in Dolby Atmos. So maybe Sony will actually release a 4K release of this movie and give us that at some point. Please, 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 Sony, give us the experience of this movie the way this is supposed to be. 4K 2160 Ultra HD with HDR10 and Dolby Atmos sound. That's the way the movie's supposed to be watched. Give us that. Well, whether you're watching DVD or Blu-ray, this is a good movie. I would say check it out and do not believe everything you hear when it comes to reviews. I know everybody and their children and their household pets said this film sucks. I can tell you right now, this film does not fucking suck. Check it out. Now that's it for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a series of more reviews. Until then.